Hey guys, it's Elaine with Apex Tarot, and I hope that you're doing fantastic today. I just wanted to hop on here real quick and do something live on my channel again, kind of like that day I got on here and was going to expose all the the spies, that video. Well, this is, I know I have law enforcement watching me on this channel, and I thank you guys so much. I really do. You guys have no idea. And so this is another reason why I'm doing this live, or I guess I'm not live, but I'm uploading this video to tell about my story as a record, because I feel like I have. Well, I don't want to get too much into my personal life, I guess, online. But anyway, I went out this morning to go get in my car. And the other day I was telling you guys I was wearing that Mickey Mouse shirt, and Mickey had his hands underneath the K-E-Y of his name, Mickey, M-I-C, and then K-E-Y. He had his name under his hand underneath the word key. And I had 2 key experiences that day that happened. I guess 3 really. I noticed that I was wearing that shirt and his hand was underneath the word key, and I went to town and I had lost my keys that day, and then went back into town that day, and this car was in front of me, and actually it was one of those white box trucks. It was a little one though, and it said lock key 24/7 anytime you need a key. And I kept asking God, well, why are you showing me about keys? And nothing ever, whatever. But then I got on and did video and stated that, was telling about that, and stated that the Spirit had said, yes, somebody's got your keys. So if that was you and you'd been wondering if somebody did have your keys, and I had already been wondering, and Spirit was, I had already been wondering, but what wasn't putting that connection in my head. I mean, it was just one of those things. It happened, and it was just like, finally I got to thinking about it, and it was just like, wait a minute, I kind of, how intuition will kind of come back to you sometimes, like, wait a minute, I remember feeling such and such a way at a certain time, or wondering something. But anyway, so this morning I got up and I took one set of my car keys and started my car because it had snowed over the weekend, and I need to go to the grocery store. I hardly have anything in my cupboards, and so I'm like, I got to get out today and go. And but I couldn't find my scraper for my car, so I just turned my car on, locked the doors, and put the heater and everything on, and thought, well, I'll just go back in the house and just wait, for about 20 minutes or so and let it warm up. And guys, I got back in my house, and I had the strangest, I don't know, the strangest feeling come over me. The strange thing about that, first of all, is that I was fixing to walk out my door, and my son called me, and he was sitting in the parking lot. And so that kind of set me a little bit behind. And so, but everything is divinely timed in my life. I believe that the Spirit goes before us and prepares the way, and as long as we're standing upright, then we'll be protected. And the Spirit had already told me before I ever moved into the apartment where I lived that I was protected. And so if the Spirit has to say you're protected, that means you're being protected by something. And I had shared on this channel that I've been followed before, and just crap has happened. But anyway, so my son came and left, and I went out and was, did that to my car and came back in and had that really weird feeling. I mean, it was heavy on me. And so I just began to pray. I was just like, what's going on, Spirit, and I just felt led to pick a rune. And guys, the rune that I picked, I really didn't, understand really. I mean, I did, but it was just like, okay, I don't know. It was just really weird. I picked this rune, and it was the I, and it's the rune. It looks like a number 1, just right down on the rune, but it means stand still, and it says time to turn inward. It says wait for what is to come, self-control and unity. Well, I picked that, and I was like, okay, well, waiting, I'm already waiting. I just wasn't even putting the 2 and 2 together until right after that happened with that rune, because that I there, the first meaning of that rune is ice. Wouldn't even put any of those connections together when I was reading that rune. After I read that rune, whatever, I'm still kind of praying, trying to listen into my intuition, because God will never steer us wrong, you guys. This is why it's so important that we have that connection to the divine. I heard somebody, messing around up above me because I live at the bottom floor. But I heard somebody, like, it kind of sounded like somebody was trying to shovel the ice and stuff off of the stairs, and that's probably what was going on. So I was like, okay, that's cool. They're going to come and, get rid of the ice in front of my door because it was bad. And I had just picked that rune and it meant ice, and I'm not thinking anything about that rune until after this happened. It happened twice, and after the second time it happened, I was like, what did that rune say? And it was just like, whoa. But anyway, so they were messing. I could hear the ice and stuff going on. Like I said, it sounded like they were messing with the stairs. And then all of a sudden I could hear them walking on the sidewalk, or the sidewalk that's in front of my door. The whole sidewalk goes in front of everybody's door, and it's full of ice because of the snow. And I could hear them walking. Well, I was sitting at my table, and I just happened to look up because the way my blinds are, I can look out, but they can't look in. And I looked up, and I noticed it was somebody that the spirit had shared with me about my keys. And the person, until it got right to my door and stopped. They just stopped. Like they were waiting to listen, because there's no way that they could have stood at my door and not seen that my car was started, but they wouldn't have been able to see that I was actually inside my car because it was full of snow. And they just sat there. And I'm just sitting real still because Spirit told me to, because it just kind of freaked me out anyway. Because I was already having that weird feeling, but I just wasn't putting that rune and everything. The Spirit was warning me. And so anyway, they left. They walked away. And I was thinking, okay, well, why not getting rid of the ice here? Anyway, because I should have been. So about 5 minutes went by, and I was just sitting here thinking, well, Spirit, what do you want me to do? Because I knew at that time, at that very first moment, I wasn't even putting the connection with the rune, but I just knew at that moment something was up. I just felt it. And y'all know, when you got the Spirit in you and the Spirit speaks, there ain't nothing that can tell you otherwise. You know when the Spirit speaks. Well, about 5 minutes or so go by, and here I hear again, somebody's coming, get to my door, around my area of my door, and it just stopped. It just stopped, like they were listening again, because my car was still out there, on. And I was appalled. I thought, my God, I'm not going to sit here, damn it, and live in fear. I'm just not going to. I've went to the authorities before, and so this is why I'm actually coming here. And I really don't want to make a big deal out of it, because I just want to be left alone. And I'm fixing to say some really naughty words right here, so if you don't, and I don't normally cuss on this channel, sometimes I say hell, but the motherfuckers are going to stop. I refuse to live in fear. I went and looked out my back window, and there's a vehicle that's been sitting out in the back of and I don't have a clue whose vehicle this is. It's been sitting there maybe, I don't even know how many days it's been sitting there. And not to my knowledge have I seen that car ever move. I'm not saying that it hasn't, because I don't sit there and look out my window, but I've just noticed this car out there. Well, today, and I'm not going to say the license plate number, but I will tell you everything that's within this license plate number, and I won't tell you the combination of it or anything like that. But my eye hit this license plate number when I looked out the window to kind of just look and see where this person was. That finally they left, and I went out and got my keys and came in, and I was just like, I just sat on my couch and I just cried, and tried to text my twin about it as well. But anyway, but this license plate number has the combinations of the moon, the death card, the emperor, the fourth house of Cancer shows up within it, the K and the V, you guys. Remember from that rune that we've been drawing, and we drew it this morning, which means the opening, the vital fire, And I've been talking about how the Spirit was saying that it is vital because, especially what I shared last night, and only 42 people watched that video, and that's fine. I only want people to watch it that's supposed to be watching it, but that's some sticky stuff. Where twin flames could be, involved with things. And I'm not saying that my twin is, or I'm not saying he's not either. I have no idea. But I will tell you that the V and the 22 are 11, 11, 11, which is 33. And so we all know what that could be. But anyway, within this, I don't know if I say this part of it, it may. Anyway, what else is in that? I wrote it down, so I'm just trying to give you guys. I want to be careful because I don't want to give somebody's license number away or anything like that online. But it just amazes me. Actually, it says something on the license plate. And that's what caught my eye. And I was like, what? And I was like, is this a joke? Because it's sitting right outside my window, you guys. And but it has energies within it of the High Priestess secrets and twin flame all over the place with the 22 and the 11 numbers show up. Justice shows up as well as the Aquarius, because the 11 is Aquarius and the Justice is the 11th High Arcana. And then we have the House of Taurus showing up, so that's Venus stuff. Both Venus and Taurus or both Libra and Venus are Taurus, and we know that Venus is going direct right now. The High Priestess would have energies of Virgo and Pisces. Then we had the House of Sagittarius, which I'm Sagittarius. So the House of Sagittarius, and I'm in my house, and these things are happening. We also have the Hermit showing up with the same energies of the number 9. So that again, we have Virgo. We have the V, which was actually the K is the 11th letter, right? And then the V, which is actually 22, which is 2 sets of 11. So that could be a Virgo. So we're getting really strong Virgo energies here. Aquarian energies, Libra energies, Cancer energies, Scorpio energies, and Pisces, I guess, as well, because we've got, so all these energies, and the Emperor energies. Did I say that already? So that'd be Aries, which is part of the vital fire. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just go watch those videos below. I'll try to remember to put them below. If not, just go to my wall, and I think it's under Twin Flame or something like that. So I just want to get on here, guys, and talk and just say you need to cover yourselves and really listen to your spirit, because, when I told you guys that I was reading for the second half of November, there was some really shady crap going on. And so let this be a public record. If anything happens to me, that I came live, or not live, but uploaded a video to expose the shit that is going on around me, and it better quit. It better quit. And you law enforcement, I appreciate you watching me and paying attention to this with me. I really do, because I've had enough. I flipped over these these Paleo Hebrew, and we got the Ayin sitting here, and that is the 16. That is also Uranus energies, which is got the 1, which is the Magician energies, the 6, the House of Virgo, and Gemini, which is the Lovers card. And then 16 makes 7, which would go to the House of Libra or the House of Cancer, because you get victory within the victory card of the energies of 7. But the Ayin represents window, look, understand, watching, see, and knowledge. That was at the bottom. Oh my God, I lift that up, and remember that rope I was just telling you about? So you guys, we can't make this stuff up, because the Spirit has our back. And even if you feel like you don't have anybody that you can go to, I got y'all to go to. That rope that I was telling you guys about when I was at the park that one day, I picked up that card just now and we have the number 23, which is a twisted rope, and it means something dark. Well, that license plate had the energies of death and the moon and that secretive stuff, and then along with the high priestess. Then I have that pay card showing here. It means a mouth, and it means speak, and it means blow, eat, and say. It's a 17. So again, we got the magician numbers, and we got the 7 all over again. So either justice or the chariot, which is victory, self-control, all that kind of stuff. But the 17 will make the 8. And we did have the death energy showing up within that license plate. And the 8th house is Scorpio, and the 8th high arcana is Leo. And we had Leo come really, really strong out on that read about exposing the spies, didn't we? And then I have the Ta. I guess that's how you say it. Or I guess it's in the modern, it's the Tav, but in the Paleo it was the T-A-W, Tawa, or whatever. But anyway, this is the 22. 22 is 2 sets of 11, which would be that V that keeps coming out in those runes, the V that looks like the K and all that kind of crap. It means to mark, to sign. Remember I said X marked the spot? Signature. And to mark a place. So somebody has marked some kind of place. I don't know. Somebody's watching. There's something dark going on here. All this stuff just isn't coincidence. And the Spirit's not just revealing stuff like this and then it just, showing up and manifesting around me for naught. It is to expose the assholes. Twin or not, I don't give a I don't have to be with my twin if my twin's involved in something like this and something dark and something twisted. The Creator can bring me a really nice soulmate that don't give a rip. Also maybe might be in the same kind of predicament that I am, and I can go forth with what I'm supposed to do in the earth if I make it out alive. And I'm not afraid to die. I'm just telling you, I'm not afraid to die. But you know what's so wild? My dad passed away on June the 9th of this year. Wow. 69. Wow. That's incredible. Today's my daddy's birthday. Last night I was going to bed and he was a Sagittarius. I've talked about that before. It's just, all this stuff is just, it's uncalled for. I've not done anything to anybody. And so I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on here. If somebody feels threatened because the Spirit speaks to me, I'm no different than you or they are, whoever they are. I've just learned how to tap into my spirit that I've been doing since I was a little girl. I remember at 9 years old and maybe even a little earlier, I used to cry because my eyes would just hurt so bad because I would see things. And I used to go to my mom and daddy's bedroom and just cry. And it's so weird because I used to work for ophthalmology. And I was working for an ophthalmology place here in Kansas City. And then at that time I was married, and we ended up moving down to the Branson area to a place called Forsyth. It's a play on the word foresight And I used to have all these problems, with my eyes just crying all the time. And I ended up working for ophthalmology, and then I moved to a place called Forsyth. And I got a lot of revelation when I lived there. At that time, I went through a lot of spiritual stuff. And then when we moved back to Kansas City, my job asked me to come back to work for them. So then I went right back into ophthalmology, and then I started having back issues and stuff, and had 3 consecutive, back operations in a row. And so, I'm home because of that. I live by myself. I have to do everything on my own. People might look at you and think, "Oh, you look fine." I don't let people see my hurt. And I'm either going to be happy or I'm going to be a grump, and I choose not to be. And I do what I'm supposed to do and get done what I need to get done, because I live by myself, and I do it with a smile on my face. And so, me needing to go to the grocery store and stuff, and people are doing shit like this to me, it's not going to work. So if you want me, come and get me, because I'm not afraid of you. I'm disgusted and my heart hurts that this kind of stuff goes on in the world, you guys. Anyway, I just wanted to put this out there. If anybody else is going through something tragic and traumatizing like I am, I send you love and light, and I ask for your prayers, and I ask for the officials who I know are watching this channel to please help me. Thank you for your time.